Alright, so let's call the golf commission meeting to order. Let's let the record show that the meeting's being taped and audio and will be posted to the city's YouTube account. Okay. First item on the agenda is the minutes of the last meeting. You sent it, all right? Minutes? Yeah. Everybody have a chance to read it?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right, let's need a motion to.
I motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any new, is there any new business? Want to just do this under your?
Yeah.
Okay. Any old business? Dan, you're okay?
Next club championship was finished up. So it's good turnout, pretty good. Unfortunately, ladies did not have enough participation for the second year in a row, so we did not have the ladies club championship this year. That's what it is this morning.
Did anyone sign up?
2 people. Yeah, so, and we'd like to have a third. Good. We have 699 members right now. So, still kind of getting a membership here and there. It's usually a kid that'll join. I don't know if we'll have a meeting again before the end of August. It's usually the time when we rip off the special, the fall special. If you guys want to talk about now to improve that, move forward with a special starting the end of August to wrap around athletes we have right now. It tends to be fairly popular. We'll drive, it usually drives in 20 to 25 people, new people, or returning people that didn't join early in the spring for various reasons. So that's an easy switch. If you want, start bringing 2026 members back. You think we'll be forward? Something we want to talk about?
Yeah, movement or any discussion on the fall special? Pretty much the same thing we did last year.
We roll it out every year, right?
It's pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
Roll it out.
At this point in the season too, I'm starting to have a discussion with people that come in, well, you're not going to get money from it now, but wait until the end of August. So I'm kind of, thinking that I was kind of doing that.
So we're looking at September 1?
I've been going in August.
I read that last week.
Yeah. At least, yeah, I mean, Labor Day's early this year, it's the first. So the first, so we're going to start the money before that. Go from there. So, it's the August 5th.
Any further discussion? We have a motion to office. Second. All in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed?
The other thing that the other check talking about, get some basic numbers for uniforms through Kuma. I sent an email, I'm not sure if everyone had a chance to read it today. I'm really not in favor of spending that much money to uniform the entire staff all week. I think that we need more clothing items than you think that we would need. The number of people that work multiple days a week. Plus the fluctuating temperature. We were wearing outerwear in the golf shop into July, and about another 2 weeks we'll probably be back in outerwear too. So getting into polos is kind of counterproductive because we're all going to throw stuff on top of it anyways, or underneath it. I am like the second part of it here. I am very much in favor of getting one basic, not basic, but getting a polo and an outerwear piece to wear for different events throughout the year, but specifically on weekday events, our charity events, our shop events, where the staff will be all the same topic. Like I said in the email, I typically will wear red or pink because I try to, not that I want to stand out, but if people see, us walking around, in red or pink or white color, it'll be easier for everybody to see. I just think the turnover of my staff is going to be annual order, whichever one we end up doing. There's going to be, let's say I get all this stuff by the end of the year, there's going to be, I might have 1 or 2 new people in the spring, and then there's going to be a lapse in the, someone may not have unit talks for the first few weeks or whatever. It's spinning around pretty fast as far as time. But, I would ask my staff on the stuff that I listed on the full thing. That's obviously not everything a necessity, but it'd be nice to have, particularly the rain gear. Right now we're just hodgepodge stuff together as it rains. I got my stuff in there, which I lent to the kids that are always big and looked at the film. So that's just, I didn't cost all that. But if we did 1 pole, 1 hour piece logo, 14 people, so we will around $125 to start. But then we all have that piece. And then I get 2 new employees, just order 2 more. Right. It's not going to be a big cost. Right. That's my thoughts on that. I'm not sure what your thoughts are. I know Amy is in favor of uniforms per se.
What about name tags? Like if we have like 10 minutes logo ones that just say you can put on whatever you're wearing, and they're a block each.
Right.
Or lanyard or something, a name tag, so that just identifies them, not last name, but just.
Right.
Particularly,
something like, lanyard, things like that.
Just leave it in the pro shop.
Something like that.
It'll work. Sure.
Lanyard could be,
Well, I personally, lanyard.
Then you just buy polo shirts in bulk, solid, and do those for everybody.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And then just the outerwear can have the logo. I used to agree with that kind of stuff.
Get it around that color.
Something
Red
like
is staff,
that.
right? Yeah, red is staff, there you go. You can tag on, you got a lanyard or whatever you want. Look at us.
Do we want us, can they look whole uniform up here, or?
No, I think I would go with this.
We all just kind of, on a big tournament, I'll have 6 or 7 different people throughout the day.
$100 isn't bad.
What's that?
$100 isn't bad.
And then something I'll tell them too, is like, listen, we're gonna wear these on these days. Let's not beat the crap out of them every other day, but so when tournament comes around, everybody's got a nice shirt.
And then you probably already have some guidelines about their appropriate wear for, the pro shop.
Yeah, I've been, especially with the kids, I talk
The
to them
kids.
routinely
And,
about different things.
if someone can't afford, a college shirt or,
Yeah.
something appropriate, we support them and
Yep.
they
Yeah,
have
'cause like you
a
said,
golf hat with they should wear, Gardner logo instead of, wear front ones.
and it's something I do talk to them about.
Right.
I agree with all the kids, obviously.
Wear their jeans.
Well,
Or just have
plus like,
basic-
grand minimum wage is about $15, and still, you can't look at someone and say, all right, you can buy $3 on the floor.
Right, it's hardship.
Are you dead set on using that company?
I don't want to use that for kids.
They have a lot of other
I've got a good relationship with them, I'm actually on their staff, as far as that goes. That's 20% off, the low prices are 20% off their
Oh, wow.
cost. So it's good quality stuff, it's not. All right, that's it, that's all I got.
Do you have any questions for Dan?
Thank you. So, in reference to the ladies club championship,
Yeah.
why do you think that there hasn't been enough ladies last? Is you getting any feedback on that?
I get a lot of feedback on that, but I'm not going to publicize it right here.
Okay.
There's some relationship issues with the ladies, I think would be a good way to put it, that people feel that they don't want to join tournaments for certain reasons. And whether I run a 3-person tournament or a 30-person tournament, it's the same, it's no difference to me. It'd be nice to have it. Obviously now, around 3 winners yesterday instead of 2. But, and it's also the point to where I don't feel it is my part to try to correct that situation on that side. It's not, or to bring it up to certain individuals. I don't think that's my job.
I was thinking it might be a format issue, but not, okay.
It is not a formal issue, no. The ladies club championship at one point was 3 days, but that's Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. And I think that became a little bit of a format issue because they didn't want to go 3 days or block out 2 weekends. So we went down to 2. The decline since then has been for other reasons.
And the other people that I know, some of the women, they don't like to play individual competition. It's more like, they like a team competition.
Yeah, and that's part 2 because I have a decent turnout coming up for the ladies division of the second chance. And more.
Security.
And that's why they're more apt to play with whatever individual they get paired with when they're within a team, within a team event. And the team events are fun. In my opinion, it's not stress. It's still competitive, but
We think about like the ladies team championship. That's good. We prefer to have ladies.
just a two-person team.
Because
Weird
I tried.
club championship, I think it's a doubles thing.
Yeah. In triple tennis, they had doubles.
Yeah, so the women's divisions of these, full ball stuff, the second chance they the women like, yeah, don't with that one. I don't think, I don't know if I had divisions in the other 2 yet. I don't think I did. But the second chance on the women. But I mean, it's like 8 to 12, 14 people. It's not 30, 36 people or anything like that, but do tend to, circles on their calendar.
I tried to solicit, information when I go and play these invitationals. And I find that, a lot of the clubs, I mean, there's not a whole lot of interest in some of the women playing in club championships. They just, just a team, a lot of participation in team play.
Okay, we didn't, I don't know exactly what our tournament numbers are for ladies, but that's dropped a little bit last 5 years or so. So and then leads to some of that decrease in their situation.
And I know a lot of women that can play, well, maybe on a Friday night or, during the week, they don't belong to the Women's Association. They just go out on their own with their friends and play. So I guess everyone has different, reasons.
Well, like a two-person team club championship, they wouldn't have to be part of the association play.
No, probably that would be
Right,
the first event.
right.
Yeah.
So, just food for thought.
Definitely something. Yeah, and this is not what I said, but I am going to put a short and try this many times. I think I get a little bit of traction on it now. To start a handicap/tournament committee. One of my workers wants to be on it. I want to get another man and another woman on it. There's a lot of great features in the new handicap system to really go after abnormalities. And I mentioned there a little bit, but come up, by the end of the fall, come up with what we're doing next year. Big thing I've looked at in a lot of places are doing. In the new rule book, there is a appendix with recommended USJ handicap allotments, event by event, and they're different than what we use now. And it would be more generous to the higher handicappers. I think I get a little bit of decrease in participation with the higher handicappers, particularly over individual events over multiple days, the delay, the club championship, because they can't compete over 3 or 4 days at 75%. They just can't do it. They may compete for 1 or 2, but they can't compete for 3 or 4 days. The percentages recommended are a lot higher. And I have found over the course of doing the last couple of years of events, the grade rounds in the handicap events are not as noticeable. They're not as drastically low. They're not like sticking out like a sore thumb. Over the men's club championship, we had 2 or 3 or 4 rounds in the net 60s. You know, granted, that's at 75%, well, before we would have, at 75%, before this new system came in, we'd have 62, 60, you know, ridiculously low net numbers on the round. You know, so it's probably like, when you stand back, like, all right, what's going on here? You know, so I think a lot of what they've done in the new handicap system has brought people that would be the competition in that handicap division was really good this year. 3 people went into the final round, tied at 215, which is 71, 71, 73. Net scores.
Yeah.
You know, that's average. You know, there are always fluctuation, but it's good. But I think, you know, one of my staff wants to do on it, is that it's a meeting on the local man, local woman, have a small committee, talk about handicaps, talk about tournaments, you know, and put it all on the spot so everybody knows it's coming. You know, this is the event's going to stay the same. You know, we're not changing anything of the events, the handicap allotments, and how we determine handicaps, which will change a little bit. To mirror a lot of the golf courses, we're using that, use the recommend cheap. You know, like the way I figure scrambles now, the way I figure scratches now, that's not what they recommend right now. It's not a big difference, just a little difference, that's all. The individual handicaps for championship would be 90 or 95%, I don't know which one, 90 or 95% rather than 75%. So that 30 handicappers are not losing 8 shots. Times 4 is 32 shots. They'll lose a little bit. You know, maybe it gets enough people in it that we bring back a higher handicap from the next division. We used to have in the past. We used to have 2 handicap divisions.
Right.
I don't know what the cutoffs were, but it was a low one and then an over.
Yeah, over 18 maybe.
Yeah. Something like that. So, you know, see how the numbers can creep up a little bit. All right, I'm done.
Did they rate the question?
Okay.
Did they rate the question?
That's my
Cost.
question.
Oh,
Yeah, first Monday in August, they're going to do preliminary next week. Yes, preliminary, and they go around. I think that might be when they drone. I think they bring a drone to do.
He's not funny because we saw him go by Friday night.
Oh, on the course?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was them.
That was it, nighttime.
It's not a nice hearing these.
Was it, is that what it is?
Like drone, you got a drone guy. Yeah, it's the only thing you can do now, get those birds out of there. I was moving from one spot to another, but yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Technology.
two Mondays in August. They'll come up. A small group on the first Monday, a large group on the third Monday, I believe. I don't know the dates right in front of me, but maybe let's just take care of it. We're gonna have them look at the goals. I want them to rate every set of teams for men and women, because right now the blues are not rated for ladies. Just get off working on, you know, with both genders. Just kind of figure it out. Was that your same question?
Was there a question?
No.
Is it-
Perfect.
it's supposed to be what you did?
Julius.
I'll let you go ahead.
Bill?
We reached out to DEP and with our current pump house situation. And they said after the last batch of analysis and sampling that we did, typically takes between 4 and 6 months to get approval. They said they're going to try to expedite it into 2 months. I don't know what that means, don't ask me. I don't know why they can expedite something in 2 months that typically takes 4 to 6. Bureaucracy. So who knows what that means? We're going to continue scrapping like we have.
We're already talking October, November again.
So then,
We're already talking about October, November possibility.
who knows? Yeah, they've got, this has been 2 years and it's only
I know.
So, our current problem is we don't have enough pressure to water everything at night. We don't have any pressure to water everything at night. So we have to pick and choose what we want to water each night. It usually comes down to the majority of tees and some fairways. The problem is when you come out of that pump house, or you come out of big 8-inch down to 6-inch to 4-inch pipes, and you start pulling up hills like number 2, you pull uphill like 15. So you can pull all your water up to 15 and water 15, or you can water 13 and 11 and 12. So we're trying to alternate nights. 85 and 7 is bad tips. I can't, we would be brown if I had all the water in the world. This is like times and thousands of that. So we're trying to prioritize at night, watering from like 9 p.m. to 3 a.m., some fairways and some tees, and then we come in as greens, all the collars, all the approaches, and all the green surrounds every morning. And that's why it looks like it is. It's all city water, the meter's running, it's gonna keep running. I have no idea what the bill's gonna be at the end, that's something we talk about at the end. That's our current state of water, so we need a 3-day rate. But that's the pump house. The only other thing that's kicking around right now, like we mentioned earlier, is the proposal. There's a proposal for a new restaurant building, combined maybe with a new pro shop, with a new cart complex, and it's just being moved about right now. We have a meeting Thursday with the mayor, the city councilors. It's obviously something that just the plans themselves are to the tune of about $33,000, which we have to obviously become to a golf commission meeting, pros and cons list. We'd have to know every single thing that's involved from now to conception all the way to the future before anything is voted on. So it's just kind of being thrown at the wall right now. That is something that's being explored and talked about, and if nothing else, it's interesting, but it's real money. So food for thought, Jeff, I need to follow up on that. We'll follow up together, but
Yes, I'll sit down with the mayor.
Q&A. We have hired a new mechanic. He's going to come in. Our current mechanic, Herb, who's been here for longer than I've been alive, is done at some point in September. We don't know the exact point. We wanted to get a person in now who starts next Monday so that there's an overlap. So we figure out what kind of new equipment we need to bring in that Herb's going to leave with, just to get him familiar with the whole situation. He's younger, hopefully it sticks, and it stays for a long time. But that's our new big hire for the year. And that's about all. Water, 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 rain, rain, rain. Shoot.
I just had a question, when they do the watering overnight,
Yeah.
is the person actually here working with?
No, that's what we're programs, but we've been coming in at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning to water, so it sucks. And then we have guys come back again. But not, the programs themselves run on a computer. And that's the challenging part, is like we're trying to, there's 2,000 sprinklers out there, I'm trying to figure out if I pull the water 400 linear feet that way, what does it do to the sprinkler? You assume that all these sprinklers run at night, and under full maximum pressure they do. But if you pull that one 600 feet over there, then this one waters like this, and in the middle of 2 green fries. And so that's why we don't run any programs on greens, is unless I can see them spinning, you can't assume greens and you water, and then you're 300 rounds on a Saturday, it's 91 degrees. And oh yeah, that's a good water. So, yeah, fun stuff.
I did reach out to Swan with that email,
Yep.
the DEP. He said his concerns are already expediting it, so
Yep.
I don't know what else he can do there.
Or anybody else, really.
Or anybody else. can do.
Yeah, I know people with bounce ideas around. It's a DEP thing. It is as black and white as it gets. When they say go, you go. Until they say go, put on the headlamps and grab those. It'll change some things going forward. I mean, we typically aerate tees in this time of year. We typically aerate greens this time of year. Not doing anything. There's no projects going on. The overtime budget is through the roof. Like, you got a staff of 15 guys, 3 are cutting grass, 12 are just watering. I got kids watering fairway spots, hoses. It's old fashioned, it's old school, but it's better than alternative.
I think we talked about this before. The lights that are behind the restaurant, that are on the pole, is that something that National Grid has to change, or? Because there's really no lighting behind the restaurant.
What do we for the parking lot?
Yeah.
Is that a National Grid light or is that us?
I don't know.
I don't either.
There's a couple of lights up there, but they're out. They've been out for a long time.
Help me with my.
Well, no, but they're on that pole.
Oh, because we'll give them the poll number.
Yeah, I have all the phone numbers on my
Yeah.
computer, so if you tell me.
So we just shoot an email.
You guys get some light back there.
Yeah,
It's dark.
Yeah, it is, okay.
Anything else? There's no correspondence. Commissioner comments, Mikey, anything?
No, nothing today.
Yeah. Good.
I would just say, I'm glad that you're steering the ship, Bill. navigating this through this whole,
Team effort.
you know, water issue, now the facilities issue.
Team effort. Very good staff.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm still getting a lot of really good comments, and the boys are in really good shape. Even though we've got these-
That's how you know people only care about greens. This is when you finally find out. They walk up and like, place in great shape, like, yeah, you just play.
I honestly don't know what percentage of people know this is going on. I know we've talked about it.
It's really small.
A lot of people don't know the issue yet, really. And I mean, I've been out range a couple of times when we've been on the turf. A couple people kind of squat, but listen, this is what's going on.
I told people too, what's going on,
Yeah.
and ask questions and stuff.
It's like, hey,
Be really
Enjoy your
happy.
night.
But it does rain.
I'll give it-
Be happy.
I'll give it all my list.
I thought we were gonna get a lot of rain yesterday.
You know, this has happened now like
I know.
3 or 4 times where a wall comes from Western Mass and it keeps coming. And then it hits Athol and it's still a wall.
Yeah.
And then there's this bounce off thing where Quabbin and Monadnock goes like this for some reason and it opens up around Gardner Golf Course. And then by the time it gets back to Marlboro, it comes back. And I'm like, we were watering green. I had 6 guys watering greens yesterday morning and they're all looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, why are we watering? I'm like, hang tight. And then 9 a.m., it goes from 100% to 80%.
Yeah.
To 49%.
That's why.
All over.
Never supposed to call those guys off the golf course.
It's a weird pocket. It's an elevation thing that we get. It slingshots and
I think it
bounces. It bounces off valleys and it bounces off
You
mountains.
see, like a thunderstorm come around, and it's going right around us.
When you watch it, when you're on the deck, you can watch it go down to Worcester and you can watch it go right through Winchendon to Fitzwilliam. And it just goes dark and dark and this light thing goes over us and
We
things
turned
are
on
on.
Quake Friday night, and, I thought we were gonna get a storm, we got a little bit of rain. Rainbow
Yeah.
came out,
Yeah.
it quit up.
It's great for business. It's bad for grass. I'm doing a lot of rounds of golf.
I know, so,
So again, thanks for the groundwork and uniform stuff. I'm running the tournaments the way you do. You do a great job. That's all I can say.
let's do the financials, so, first one, the one that I gave you is 25, so, these are, most of the, numbers are probably final. I know he's gonna like eliminate all the negative, items that were basically over budget, offsets that reduce the ones that were under budget, which the last page of this report has that basically, allocation that is gonna just supposed to eliminate all that. So receipts came in at $1,336,000 per year, which was probably an increase over last year, roughly about $80,000. I think a lot of that is due to because we increased the rates for memberships.
So that's just half a year.
Greens fees, right?
That was 3 months.
Yep.
Expenses are at $921, plus the $240 for the indirect costs. So it's leaving us a surplus of about $175,000. That's after deducting the truck that we bought for $78 grand. So if we didn't buy that truck, we'd be close to pretty much where we were previous years.
Water, buy water this year.
The other thing too, is we spent all the money for the fund house, so I told any future bills will just go through the top list. And the only other thing that we bought last year was what? Just the gator, right?
Yeah, just that one gator.
That's it. So it was a truck and a gator. Any questions on the financials?
Make a motion to accept the financials as proposed.
All in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, the next one is, this is for fiscal year 2026. Roughly the first 4 months of July. Probably not everything's probably just 4 weeks, probably 3 weeks of receipts probably. So receipts are,
They don't have copies of that one.
Just
I only made you one. I
Oh.
didn't
we're all full
Well,
of.
I'm just going through it.
Sorry.
Listen,
Listen,
listen.
Okay, yeah, so receipts are at, 90,500. Expenses are at roughly about 60,000.
The receipts do not include last week.
Probably not, no.
No, she doesn't have,
Exactly, yeah, because.
I just did it this morning too,
No,
so,
it's not last week.
no, last week's were this morning.
Yeah, so it's probably just the first 2 weeks of July.
Yeah.
I think you had said it, they were like around 48 or something.
Pretty good.
Probably just the first 2 weeks. We didn't pay for that new study, right? For
That
Just
bill,
did it.
I submitted it last night, so it'll
Oh.
get paid next week.
No, I was just wondering if it was included.
It came in under the quote, so,
really?
by like, not a whole lot, but,
Weird.
but lower than what they had originally put on the quote, because they sent 2 different bills, and they totaled less than the 9,200 or whatever.
Sure.
I put the purchase order on.
I don't know if anybody's aware of it, but the state was requiring another analysis before they approved this project. And it was
Just like
it's like $9,800 for this analysis. This is in terms of salaries.
They're not pro-business. Let's leave it at that.
So right now, we've got a surplus of roughly about 60 grand with the change to our literature. Any questions on 2026? Hearing none, motion to accept.
Motion accepted.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Next meeting date. August 23rd. Nothing going on that day, right? Yeah.
No, I may not be here.
Okay.
I may not. I'm going away with the kids for a while, I'm not sure exact dates yet.
Is that okay with everybody else?
Yes.
Just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.